You and me, yeah. Mhm. Hey, class. Welcome, class. Welcome. Welcome. I'm waiting for my boy G. Waiting on my boy G. See what's going on with him. I don't know what happened. Little technical difficulties on my brother.
Is that better?
A little bit, G. Hold on a second.
My microphone's right here.
You got it. Do you have it plugged into your computer?
Yeah.
Pull it out, plug it in one time, G. It might be it. Welcome, class. Welcome to another Monday morning training. The Roundup family. Good morning. Good morning. Wait till you hear what happened to me today. I'm a little late as I'm coming home. That sounds good, G.
Good.
Probably some static on the connection. It just went haywire.
Better?
That's it. Let me go get my headphones, G. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Ooh, yeah.
Is that better?
Yes. George Russo in the building. What's up, my brother?
Everything's fabulous, man. How about you?
Brother, I'm sorry. I told you I dropped the ball today. I went to go check on my renovations, right, to make sure they ain't frozen because it's cold. I'm on the way home. I got a call of foreclosures on Friday. Some people want me to, so I had to look at their house, and I'll tell you about that offline. But these foreclosures ain't no joke, G.
Yeah, I get it. I understand.
So we were talking fundamentals. Class, give me a few more seconds so everybody can get time to log in. Fundamentals, just the basics. Remember, you got something on that on your business, G?
Yeah, so fundamentals in my world, obviously I've transitioned from real estate to computer world.
Mm-hmm.
Still do some real estate stuff, but my fundamentals are we provide great service in our world. That's our goal.
Okay.
A lot of people do what we do, but we treat our clients like they are our family.
Gotcha. We'll get to that. Okay. I just want to make sure you we got that. I want to ask you about client acquisition and client retention. We're going to go over that too. Is that cool?
Absolutely.
Client retention. If I were to ask you, if I were to say, Dan Kennedy says, retention is the new acquisition, what would you say to that, G?
I say that my retention process is really the best way that I grow, to be honest with you. I've grown mostly in-house, per se, organically.
Gotcha. All right. We'll cover that.
I do one networking process in my world called BNI.
Gotcha.
And then from there, when I meet a client, a lot of times I'm getting a client from my client.
Gotcha. Okay. We'll get into all that. Class, welcome to our Monday training. If you don't know me, my name is Chris Haskins with the realestateroundup.com. I am a full-time entrepreneur. My mission statement, my ministry is to raise your financial literacy, oh my Lord, through real estate investing and entrepreneurship. Dan Kennedy says from time to time, we should not commit business incest. We should not commit business incest by only studying from people that are in our industry. We should not always study only from real estate guys about real estate investing. That's why I love hanging out with G. What up, my brother? My brother,
Good
hey.
morning. Good morning.
My brother G. So George Rousseau, good morning. George is in the computer business, but he was, well, not was, he still is in the real estate industry as well. George, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Chris. How you guys doing?
Yes, we are blessed. If you have any questions, class, please, for G, put them in the box over there. Make sure you put your state. If you don't have to put your city, put your state. Subscribe to my channel. Thumbs up on the description. Please click us for the thumbs up for optimization purposes so we can get out through the internet. George, background. Give me a little bit. Where you from? What you do? All that stuff.
So I'm a Jersey guy. Spent most of my life there. Wound up down here in the Virginia Beach area about 15 years ago. I got introduced to the real estate market when I sold my house back in 07. Made a lot of money on it. It was really easy. Excuse me, in 05. And when I got down here, I came down here unemployed. My wife and I and our 3 kids came to Virginia Beach. We had a promise of a job in the computer world. It didn't happen. So I wound up in the real estate world. I was buying, selling, flipping.
What year was that, G?
So 2005.
You know what's weird? We did some deals. We did that deal. I just remember we were doing deals together. That one, I wholesale you and then you put all the people together.
Yeah, wasn't that like Bay Avenue or something like that? Bay Street or Bay Avenue. I remember that. Yeah. So my background is, basically I wound up in the real estate market in the mid 2000s. Joined a great networking group, met a lot of people. But all of a sudden one day somebody said to me, man, I know you used to fix computers. So I wound up helping somebody fix their computer on a Sunday afternoon. And, I got back into my blood because I've been doing it for years before real estate. And wound up that one job on a Sunday afternoon turned into 10 years later. And now I've got a crew of 5 full-time people, and we service about 70 customers here in the Hampton Roads area. And,
wow.
It's been growing every year.
So I want to give my family members, and G, you can watch the chat box too. If you open up another screen, if you have do you have the link to the actual broadcast itself?
I got a group chat window on the right-hand side here.
There you go. Yeah, you should be able to see any questions. Any questions you got for G, please put them in there. George, now what I love about you is you were in the real estate business back during the Wild Wild West. Give me a picture of that.
Yeah, man, it was easy pickings. It was kind of like, all we used to just send letters. Our big gig. So I worked with a partner for a while, and we just used to send out letters to certain areas, and we'd get calls just like you got on your ride home today about a foreclosure. In the heyday, I remember in the first 4 months of 2006, we did 4 deals in the first 4 months, made about 80 grand.
Wow.
And we were basically buying and then selling to wholesalers. We were just moving product. We were buying contracts.
Yep. Nice.
Wound up owning some rental property, got into the landlord business. I'm too nice of a guy to be in the landlord business.
Share that with me, because I got to just see where you come from. So before I get where you're at, I know you had that multifamily. I like to for my family members that say, I just want to buy a multi-unit so I can sit back and don't have to work anymore.
Yeah, so that probably should have been the way I went with it. I probably should have hired a management company. I would have been better off. Being the owner, the maintenance guy, the man who collects the rent, didn't fit me well. So, in that world, I think I probably would have been better off had I had a management company and not manage my own property. It's tough, having people know that you're the owner and taking care of them, because everybody needs help. People need help, and I'm like to help, and I help too many times. So I learned that lesson.
Yeah, you got to be stiff with this stuff. G, none of my rental properties, matter of fact, I'm the owner of no houses. If you ask my tenants, all I do is work for the owner.
Yeah, and that was a mistake I made originally. So I highly recommend, if you're going to do that stuff, you go through some serious training, get some really good training, some seminars in, kind of stuff you're doing before you jump in.
There you go. So you found out that you were too nice to be a landlord. So I know you were kind of segueing as you were running one of our local REIAs or working there. You were getting more people asking about computers. How did that all come together?
Yeah, so I wound up on the board of the real estate group, and getting deeper with people. And if you're going to be in a real estate group, you might as well get in there and do what you can do, get to the top, and meet as many of the busy people, the ones that are being productive and making the deals. It's what I did. But all of a sudden one day, the president of the group said to me, "Listen, I need you to fix my laptop." And I said, "Man, I haven't done that in 4 years." And he said, "Too bad." So he invited me over. We had a beer at his house. I fixed his laptop. He paid me like $60. And then right after that, the attorney on the real estate board needed help in his office. And then the
Wow.
real estate broker on the board needed help in her office.
Hmm.
And it just segued into that. And then I incorporated, and I just had my 10-year anniversary on January 1.
Congratulations, G. I'm so happy for you.
It's exciting.
So what made you recognize, because obviously it didn't have to turn out like this for you.
Correct.
Could have been a whole nother
Yeah.
path, if you will. What gave you the ability to recognize, what, this is a demand, and if I could just get in the position to be able to supply the demand, I could turn this into some income.
Well, two things happened for me. One, obviously, I wasn't great at being a landlord. So back in 07, 08, we had a lot of unemployment going on, and I had some tenants that basically had those same scenarios. So I was seeing an end to my process at that point. The other side of the coin is that I wanted to be an entrepreneur since I'm 15 years old. Dabbled in some construction stuff when I was younger, but I realized that to be in business, you have to be in a business that everybody needs all the time. And I happen to be in that business. Computers aren't going away. Computer service isn't going away. I'm not selling, artwork. I'm not selling frames for pictures. I'm not, doing anything that can get hit by a recession. I had a client one time, Chris, tell me, "Listen, I'm going closing business in 2 years. I'm not painting the building. I'm not mowing the lawn anymore. I'm not hiring any people, but I need my computer system to work for the next 2 years. So I have to pay you."
Wow.
So when I realized that kind of concept, I knew I'm kind of in an environment that we all need cars, we all need clothes, we all need food and shelter. Well, today we all need computers. Even grandmas need computers today.
You're right. Yeah, everybody's on Facebook.
Yeah.
So you recognize that, and I guess with your entrepreneurial spirit that's built in, no doubt, you said, let me go ahead and turn this into something that could be long term.
Yeah, well, I've also always had a passion for computers.
Okay.
So way back in my early day, I worked for a car dealership and I was a parts manager. And when I was a parts manager, we didn't have a computer. If we had a thousand,
What?
if we had 1,000 spark plugs on the shelf, we had this card inventory system. They were like index cards. And if we had 1,000 spark plugs, we had 1,000 index cards. If we sold 8, we took 8 of them out, we put them in a little pile, and that's how we reordered stuff. So I was
Gotcha.
involved with the dealership when they segued into a dealership management system. So I
Hmm.
kind of became a pseudo IT guy at that time in my life. I'm the guy who just interfaced with the company that was bringing it in and with our organization. So I was kind of like just a point man per se.
Hmm.
Um, my wife's been a school teacher all her life. Back in 2000, actually probably back in about 1998 or 99, she came home for the summer with a little iMac. I don't remember what you call it, but it was one of them purple, yellow, or green. Looked
The
like a
little round
bubble.
ones?
Yeah, it looked like a bubble.
Yeah.
So she had a home for the whole summer. And I don't think I saw the sunshine that summer, man. I spent my entire summer playing and messing around with that thing.
Gotcha.
And I kind of, fell in love with them at that point. And then,
Nice.
unfortunately, the real estate thing happened and started making easy money. So I kind of segued out, but it, kind of pulled me back in, man, a couple of years later.
Nice. If you're just joining us, class, George Rousseau is hanging out with me today. George is one of the people that I like to keep in my circle of influence. His ideas always world class. The way he treats people, the way he can converse with people, I love it. So I just want to today's training is on multiple streams of income, but also make sure you're keeping people around you, G. How important is it to you, G, to keep the right people around you? Let's go ahead and go from there.
Oh man, I got to tell you, the right people around you help you all the time. I mean, like you said before, not necessarily in my own industry. I have to have mentors that are in my industry, and I have to have mentors that are people that are just good people, because you need to have a full circle of how you treat people, how you work, how you operate. I couldn't be where I'm at if I didn't have good people around me. And I'm saying that because I'm also an employer. I employ people. So for me, on both sides of that coin, I got to have people on the other side of me that help me grow my business. And I got to have people on the inside here who help me take care of my business and help me grow internally. And that's always been a factor for me. So how you treat people, having the right people is extremely important.
Nice, good. So if you could give us a mission statement of what the name of your company and tell us exactly what you do now, G.
Absolutely. So I own and operate GAN Computer Services. That's GAN, Golf Alpha November. Quick story on that. I'm a family man. Those are my children's initials, Gabriella, Antonia, and Nicholas. Of course, if anybody today wants to make me an offer to buy my business, it stands for General Area Networking. That's what we do. We do business networking services. Our mission statement is pretty simple. Treat people right. I have clients that range from 2 people in an office to 30 people in an office. But when I show up, I feel like I'm a part of their family. When they call us, we don't just go through the process. We're talking about how was your weekend? How's your family? We know people's dogs' names. We know what kind of cookies they like. So it's really important to have a personal connection with your customers.
I'm just taking notes, G, so I can remember this, and my class that comes on later can see this stuff. That's, what I love that when you say personal connection, because as Dan Kennedy says, you can't out Amazon.
Right.
And if you try to go low prices and just sell products with no relationship or no connection, I think you're in trouble, G.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. So, I'm not the cheapest guy out there in the world, but we provide a level of service that my clients feel comfortable. They know if there's a problem, we're going to be there. We try to reduce problems. But that personal connection is just fabulous. It's really the only way to go. And then that leads me to how I got more business. When you have that trust factor with the customer and they know how you treat them, they're more willing to say to their friends, their source of influence, their sphere of influence, I should say, that this is the guy you need to go with.
So we're saying basically trust factor equals referrals. Is that safe to say?
Exactly. And when you get a referral like that, it's hard not to, it's easy to close that deal.
Yes. Oh man, we'll call that a warm lead.
Hell, you're very qualified lead at that point. Top of the pyramid. You can sit around all day long and do direct mailing and postcards and all that stuff. But when you're looking to work in the service industry, and my business isn't one-off, so I don't do project and then move on. When I get a customer, they stay around and they're doing monthly services with us.
So tell me about, G, if you just give me a 40,000-foot view of a typical client. I know you've got A to Z. Even for somebody like me, you kind of do support with questions and stuff, but what's the typical client look like?
So my typical client has probably got between 5 and 10 people in an office. We're a small business servicing small businesses. We provide services to them in the manner that we're taking care of their voice over IP phone service. We are managing their computers. Computers are like cars. They need maintenance. If you're not maintaining your computer, well, someday you're going to sit down in front of it and you're going to need to do your work and it isn't going to work for you. You got to take it in the repair shop and get it fixed. Our philosophy is we'd rather proactively take care of that computer, make sure that every time you sit down to work, you can do what you do to make money and don't have to worry about your computer not doing what is not stopping you from making that money. So we manage their computers, we manage their email, we manage their internet service. And that leads into the process of cybersecurity. crazy stuff out there on the internet. Look, you and me are on the internet right now. How crazier can that get?
Yeah.
But there's a lot of craziness out there on the internet. If you don't have proper firewall protection, security from the outside of your internet to the inside of your internet, you open yourself up for a lot of problems. So that's my typical client. You know, we manage their phones, we manage their computers, we manage their internet, and whatever they need done, we're there to help. If it's not something I do, I help get them to that solution.
Gotcha.
And that's it in a nutshell. We try to keep it simple here, Chris. We try to keep it simple.
Now, are you doing products too? Are you showing up with a bunch of, are they saying, gee, I need to order 10 new laptops, or I need towers? Are you doing products too, G?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. We have a client down in Chesapeake. They have a couple of road salespeople that have offices set up at their homes. Well, they just called us the other day. So listen, we need to have a setup in one of our offices so that when they come in, they can just plug in and work. And they're getting dual monitors, wireless keyboards, all ready to go. So we sell
Nice.
computers, printers, laptops, servers.
Wow.
And then all the other service stuff. They need email addresses. We provide email. You know, we have an email hosting service, and we host websites. So we do all of that stuff. But yes, my client says to me, I need to, you know, we actually, during our maintenance process, we meet with our clients on a regular basis and say to them, here's your list of computers. Well, these 3 are getting to be over 4 years old. We got to talk about replacing those. These 4 here in the meat, they're still okay. And you got 3 brand new ones in your fleet. So we basically do like fleet management of their computers.
Nice. Nice. That is so cool. So tell me about, G, your new, you know, as we mentioned earlier, I love it because you came from real estate.
Yes.
Lead generation. You know how that is for real estate. It's all about numbers. Real estate, you're
Yes.
gonna look at 100, you got to send out, you know, look at 100 houses to get one or whatever. How does that relate to your world in the GAN computer world regarding pre-screening a lot of clients or prospects to get to one that you might want to do business with?
Yeah, so it's a little different in my world, and it goes back to the way I find my customers, and it's generally through my current customers. I belong to a referral networking group, so I'm
What's
the
that
only
called?
guy. It's called BNI, Business Networking International. As a matter of fact, we have a real estate investor in our chapter.
Mm-hmm.
BNI.com, if you want. I mean, I'm not putting any plugs in for anybody, but
Yeah.
so I've got a group of 30 people. I got 30 people in my group.
Okay.
On a basis, I train them to listen to their clients for any type of IT problems.
Say that again, G. I didn't follow you. Say that.
200.
Said, huh?
I have 30 people in my group. I'm the only IT guy.
Tell me, I think what you said there was, that was a monster tip you just gave, but I didn't comprehend it.
I train them to listen to their clients for when they have IT or phone problems. And then they say, I got a guy, known him for years. You need to call George, or can I get George to call you?
So for our viewers that are not in the BNI, can we use that? I'm like, you're training people to listen.
So I don't have a sales team at GAN Computer Services. I'm the only sales guy. But my BNI group is 30 people, and they're my sales team.
You're training people to listen for possible leads for you.
Correct.
Wow, that's a
and
beast.
They're all warm leads because they're going to know that person. They're going to be in their office. It's going to be a client of theirs, and they're going to say, you got a computer problem? Hold on a minute. I got George. Let me give you his name and number. I'm going to call him right now. And that's how I get my business, primarily.
I like that.
So I'm not doing emailing stuff. You know, that's pretty much primarily how I get my business. So not to brag, but my closing ratio is about 75%.
Are these warm leads that are coming in too?
Yes, sir. Yeah, so the concept is, so I'll give you a perfect example. I've got a financial planner in my group that I've known for 9 years. He introduced me to this guy who owns a lighting company because they were doing work together. I met with them We started doing a couple little projects for them, helped them. We sold them some equipment. A year later, they asked us to help them with a couple other things. 6 years later, now we take care of their entire organization. They've got 12 people. We do everything for them: phones, computers, email, internet. 2 years ago, they were on a conversation with another lighting company that they know up in Richmond. And they were complaining about not having good technical support because their office manager was doing it. They said to me, "You got to call this guy up in Richmond." Well, I call this guy up in Richmond, go up there, meet him 2 hours away, go back, meet him again, give him a proposal. 2 years later, I'm now supporting them for everything, and they've got 26 people in their office. Mm. They actually have an office in Richmond and in Roanoke, and we serve from Virginia Beach.
Nice.
But it's because the financial planner in my B&I group heard his client say he had a computer problem. He said, "You need to talk to George." We talked, got that as a client. That client heard his buddy, who's in the same business as he is, said, "I got a computer problem." He said, "You need to talk to George." Met with them, and now they're my client.
Nice. Nice.
So B&I is all about warm referrals, warm leads.
You know, my brother is a car dealer in Colorado Springs. He talks very highly of BNI. I need to, yeah, every time I try to join one, though, it's always a real estate guy already in there.
So if you're in the right BNI group, we've got a real estate agent in our group who just does residential. And we have a young lady in our group who focuses on investing. So they work together like a team. She's also a licensed agent, but that's not her go-to stream of money. Yeah. She's doing the same kind of stuff that I used to do that you do today. Mm-hmm. Helping people in foreclosure, doing subject twos, doing lease options. Mm-hmm. She's even training people on how to make money in doing long-term growth with their real estate property. So she's in a B&I group right alongside a real estate agent, and they actually work together because he can't do everything. Mm-mm. You'll come across somebody that says, "I can't sell my house. I owe too much on it. I can't sell my house. It's too broken down." Mm-hmm. And he's like, "I got a warm lead for you. You need to call this young lady." Yeah. And she steps in and they do the work. And then they've got a team of professionals in there. They've got a title company. They've got a loan officer. They've got a home inspector. They've got a pest control company. Nice. And they created this little power team inside of B&I. And they just hand referrals around in a circle. Oh, I got a new customer today. Well, then the real estate guy gets the connection. The loan guy gets the connection. The loan guy gets a customer. The bug control company gets a referral. It's just I don't even want to use the word vicious cycle, but it's a serious cycle of business growth in a group like that.
I need to get down with one. I over the years I've tried to join. There's usually a real estate guy in there already, but I'm going to make it. Matter of fact, I've got it on my board here. My brother talks highly of it. He's in it. He's used to be the president of his.
I've been in 9 years and done president, vice president. I'm the visitor host guy. I get to talk to all these visitors that come in. We get 4 or 5 visitors every week in our group, and I interface with them directly. I call them after the meeting, so I'm meeting 4 or 5 new people that I would have never, ever met in my life other than being in a networking group like that.
Nice. And is there a fee, G? If somebody wants to join, well, tell us about if somebody wants to join a BNI in their area for people that are watching.
There's a fee. It's minimal. There's an annual membership fee. I don't know if you really want to go into those details. But I highly recommend just find one. Search it out, bni.com. You can search it out.
Gotcha.
Send you a message. I'll connect you if you're there. But BNI is in 60 countries worldwide.
Gotcha.
So they're everywhere in the United States, but it's minimal. Let's put it this way: it's 3 digits a year total.
Gotcha. Can I put your email address here, G? If anybody wants to contact you about computer stuff, what is it?
George, George at gancomputer.com. Look, so I'm sitting in front of my email, and I have a client that just emailed me. Mm-hmm. About 2 years ago, I have a connection with my Cox communication guy. He called me and said, "Hey, I need your help. I got a client I just hooked up, and he needs some cabling because we do cabling work, video cable network, data cable work.
You're running the wires.
We wire buildings. So we went out, met him. I did a wiring job for him in his orthodontist office down in Chesapeake. He just sent me an email. Hey, we're opening up another office. I need you to come to North Carolina to do my office.
Wow. That is cool. Because when they come set up the cable, they're not doing the hard work. They're only going to run the wire. Huh?
They're bringing you the internet service in. All the stuff inside the building they don't do.
Yeah, so you're taking it from there. And
so we put TVs up for him. We put audio speakers in. We did all his data cabling, Wi-Fi, his internet service. The wireless internet service. And he's now opening up a second office in North Carolina down Elizabeth City. And he's like, he's not even shopping.
You got him.
Come tell me what I got to do.
So what makes, I get back to what we talked about, retaining people. Dan Kennedy says retention is the new acquisition. G. What makes that so important for you?
Well, perfect example, this guy who just sent me an email about his new office. We don't do a lot of service work for him. We did that initial project. But when the way you treat people leaves an impression on them. We had some bumps in the road, some hiccups, because sometimes when we do our cabling work, we're the last thought. We're the last thought in the planning process. They're planning out where they're putting their doors and their desks and what color floor they're putting in. And all of a sudden they're like, where's our wiring? How are we going to get all this stuff connected? We came in at the last minute, did this job in a week's time from the time I spoke to him to the time he needed to be up and running. And we stayed in touch. I reach out every once in a while, say, hey, how you doing? How's things? We got him on a phone service, so another monthly retention process. And here he is. He's coming right on back. So you got to do the right thing for people. I
was going to ask you that Napoleon Hill talks about a pleasing personality, and he talks about going above and beyond, G. How do you implement that in your business? He says successful people in Think and Grow Rich do more than what's required, G.
Yeah, that's been my MO. I mean, I love servicing my customers. I love being as proactive as I can. Staying in touch. We send cards. We send cookies. We stop in and visit. We make sure that when they need something, we don't go, even though we have service level agreements in our business. It says, we're going to do this within 2 hours. We're going to do this within 4 hours. I don't even have to look at those things because we're doing them the moment they ask us to do them.
Wow.
We're not that kind of company that just says, well, we got 2 hours of service we'll get to you.
What was that called? You had a term for that, G. What did you say?
Service level agreements.
Service level
SLA.
I'm taking notes, G. I'm taking notes.
You see, you need a bigger whiteboard, brother.
That is on the way. I didn't know.
Well,
Service level agreement. I can't write small. You wouldn't be able to see
it. Service level agreement.
I'm thinking about my tenants as you're talking. That's why I love talking to people that are not in the real estate business.
Yeah. I mean, so what happens when you get a call from your tenant and they say, my toilet's got a problem? Do you drop your phone and take care of it right then? Do you assess what's happened? Is it a priority? Are they telling me a story? That's kind of what we do. Maybe their toilet story might be that the lid's loose.
Yeah.
Or who knows? I remember those days. But so it's just it's a process of I'm telling my customer what's the worst case they're going to get from us, but we never get to that point. We respond quickly because they have a need. They have a need. They're reaching out to us for that need. And if I don't respond to them quickly, there's a lot of people that do what we do. So that's part of that personal care that Napoleon Hill talks about, above and beyond.
Above and beyond. I like that. I'm thinking about my resident. We had that bad storm yesterday, G. Did it rain out there where you were at?
Yeah, we had no snow. My wife's upset.
Yeah, so it rained all day, right? I got a text message. You got to, from one of my residents, you got to call. We got a problem. I'm like, I know where this is going. But so anyway, needless to say, I got my roofers over there today trying to figure out how we're going to fix their roof immediately.
So you responded. You're on top of it.
Well, the thing is, G, as I matriculate and get older, I'm like, people are paying me.
Right.
They sacrifice their money to give to me. And I'm like, you know what? The least I could do, the bare minimum I could do is to say, you know what? I care about you. That's just a start. I'm not talking about all the action steps, but how do you, caring is what I'm talking about, G. Tell me about how much you care, I know you do.
All right, so I have to give you that answer in a story. So I have this client who's a CPA's office. That's all they do. They do tax preparation. They do bookkeeping work. They got about 6 or 8 people in their office. Mm-hmm. This is the depth of the caring. So about 4 years ago, he had a server drive go down. A server hard drive fell, and he couldn't operate his system. Well, he still says today, I can't believe you slept in my parking lot while you waited for my computer system to rebuild itself.
Wow.
So in my world, we got to sometimes kick off jobs to rebuild or restore data, and it takes a long time. Mm-hmm. I slept in his parking lot overnight, waiting for it to get done. And he still looks at me when I need him. And even when he gets mad at me, which does happen on occasion, because he's an interesting guy, he'll look at me and say, I still can't believe you slept in my parking lot.
Wow, G.
Taking care of my stuff.
Unreal.
So yeah. So that's caring. I don't know how much of a better story I can give you than that for caring.
Yeah. Well, did it take you time? I know you personally. A lot of my family members watching don't know you as well as I do. Were you? Is that you? I mean, were you always like that?
Yeah, that's me. That's me not even being in the computer business. Mm-hmm. Comes from my mother, brother. God rest her soul, but comes from my mother.
Yeah. All right.
That's just a built-in trait. But it can be learned. It can be taught. I mean, she taught me as a kid.
Nice. Okay. So we're at 40 minutes, G. Hold tight.
Whoa, that's pretty fast. Let's talk about some real estate, man.
We can, G. If you want to ask me something, or I can go over real estate with you.
Well, I'm still doing some real estate. I can tell you what I'm doing in that.
Yeah, man. I didn't know. I remember the other day you're like, man, I don't want to get into that. I'm like, that's what I want to hear about. Real estate stuff.
So I've taken an advantage so I do commercial real estate, Chris.
Okay.
When I started my business, I worked out of my house. My wife got to a point where she's like, what are you doing with all these computers around here? You got to go do this somewhere else.
Yeah.
So I have a buddy that I met in my real estate group and reached out to him because I knew he did some commercial property. He showed me an office in a suite that he had. So it was 4 offices in a suite. And he said, I can rent you this one. So I worked it out. I rented it. Then I needed another one when I started growing. He said, all right, I'm going to give you another one. Next thing you know, all 4 offices became available. He said to me, I got to make money on these. Either I got to kick you out and rent it to somebody who's going to take all 4, or you take all 4. I came up to him. I said, would you let me sublease them? There's another real estate process. So he said yes. So I successfully went out. I found 2 other tenants and 2 other businesses. I rented them the 2 other offices while I used the 2. Wow. 6 years later, I needed more space, the downstairs. So I've got an upstairs 4-unit suite, and I got a downstairs 4-unit suite. Mm-hmm. Today, I rent all 4 of the offices upstairs. We do an all-inclusive. We provide internet. We take care of the bathroom. We provide water. And we pay the electric bill, and they pay me a flat fee. And I rent all 4 offices to 4 different businesses in my office space. So and the glory of that is my 4 rentals pay my lease fee on both units, on all 8 of my units. I've got 8 units. Mm-hmm. 4 in one and 4 in another.
Okay, upstairs, downstairs.
My 4 upstairs pay my lease upstairs, and my lease downstairs, pays my electric bill upstairs, pays my electric bill downstairs, and pays almost all of my internet service bill.
Oh my Lord. So basically you don't have any outgo.
I have no rental expense whatsoever. Now I do manage it. So it's
That's
pretty
a fee.
minimal because I'm in the business, I'm in the commercial world. Commercial tenants are way different than residential tenants.
In what aspect, G?
Well, they're less demanding. They don't, they do less damage.
Mhm.
They don't live here. Let's put it, that's probably the biggest difference. They don't live here.
Okay.
They come here to operate their business. They go home at the end of the day.
Mm.
So I'm not dealing with, lots of bathrooms. I'm not dealing with that. They come and go. I do my lease process month to month. I collect first month's rent and last month's rent. So if they decide to skip out and just leave, I'm covered. And I put out my Craigslist ad and I get a new tenant in about a week or two.
So
And I do it all over again.
let me understand this. So you have units that you are renting for my family members. It kind of went, I mean, I heard it, but I want to make sure I get a picture of this. You occupy the building and work there too.
Yeah, so we occupy the downstairs office suite, which is a reception area and 4 offices.
So you have the whole downstairs.
We have the whole downstairs. I've got, 3 guys that live here and do remote service work all day long. I've got me in an office. I got my assistant in an office.
Gotcha.
And we have a lot of storage because we have a lot of equipment in the building. But the upstairs is rented. I've got one who's a family therapist, one who's in the internet marketing business, one's a discount locksmither, kind of did locksmith company. They just run their office out of here. And the other one is they write books for a living. So they're kind of like their own publisher. And they just come here and work for the daytime.
And you're the man. You are the property manager for them.
And I manage the property.
Wow, G, you are. You know what? That's why multiple streams of income with what we wanted to talk about today, G. How important is that for you?
Well, I could be shelling out $1,200 a month in rent coming off my bottom line. But for a little extra work and managing the process, finding a tenant every once in a while, doing a little painting here and there. I mean, I'm at the point where I hire somebody to paint now. Just doing that little bit extra covers my entire rent nut. I mean, the whole thing is covered.
That is so cool, G. How in the world did you figure this all out? I mean, what?
I have to say, it's from those days of hanging out with all you real estate folks just talking about it. It just became a process. Like, why not rent it out? I mean, I had a landlord background. So, my landlord, my master landlord is also in the landlord business, and he understood and approved it. So As soon as he said, go ahead and sublet it out, he knows what I do. He knows I make money. But his building, I've been here nine years, Chris. He's never had a late rent payment ever.
I'm sure he loves you, no doubt.
I'm on the verge of debating on buying the building, buying my corner of the building.
Yeah, good for you, G. I'm happy about that.
Yeah. So real estate's still in my blood, man.
I see.
And I rent so we have an in-law suite at my personal residence.
Mm-hmm.
We had a 5th bedroom over the garage with a full bath in the garage. And my mom came to live with us, so we revamped the garage, and I recently turned it into a private apartment. So we have a 1-bedroom apartment. I manage that process as well. And we rent out one of our 5 bedrooms and one of our 4 bathrooms. And then we give up the garage, but it pays half my mortgage.
Wow. That is so cool.
So real estate is, it's a good thing.
Well, the thing about it is, G, I remember I was listening to Tony Robbins this morning. He's talking about, man, people are scared or they're ashamed. They don't know what other people are going to think about them when they do certain things, And I know people, G. My mentor was a multimillionaire, living in his car, went broke, because he had a lot of different reasons. But I'm like, I think about myself. My expenses are low. I've rented out bedrooms. I've lived in smaller houses. As I'm getting older to get bigger houses. I think one of our issues in America is we all have this mental thing where we're worried about what everybody thinks, G. And you're doing it. I mean, there's no doubt you have no care in the world about what people think about you written out that room.
No, and you know my story. I mean, I'm not going to dig into it, but I've been through a bankruptcy in my life.
Mm-hmm.
You can't let that stuff keep you down, man. Matter of
Nice.
fact, it was one of the best things that happened to my wife and I. We are now debt free. I mean, we did just buy a car, but that's been we've been debt free for 7 years. But I didn't buy a new car. I bought, a 4-year-old car and got a really low payment. But we're basically debt free family. We live on the cash money, and we budget every week, and we talk about money. One of the best rules I can give you, I learned from that. Every week we get bills and envelopes in the mail that come in and need money in them. We don't do anything with them. We stick them in a drawer until we get to our business meeting. We don't talk about money every day. We take those envelopes, we stick them in a drawer. When we have our business meeting, which is usually on Thursday night, we then break out those bills, talk about them. When the business meeting's over, we're done talking about it.
Nice.
So for those families that battle with those things, I highly recommend it.
Nice. I remember your personality changing at that time.
I got more humble. I got more humble because it could happen to anybody.
Yeah. Especially in this business, there's so many zeros behind the ones. I mean, there's so many damn zeros, dog. I mean, everywhere I go, there's just another zero added on.
Listen, we all have things that happen to us in life, Chris. It's how you react to them. You can take anything in a positive manner or a negative manner. Mm-hmm. I try to focus on taking everything I can and turning it into a positive.
That's what I love about you.
Family, whatever.
Yeah, I love it. I wanted to make sure I share with my viewers your story. All right, let's talk a little bit about the coaching, what the coach you hired, if we can touch a little bit about that, how that affected your business. And then I want to make sure, class, if you're just joining us, please, questions on the side. If you got any questions for G or for me, I'll answer them. G, let's talk about coaching and how you want to move forward. Tell me about the coach you hired, a little bit about that, and then how it helped.
So I've been doing this on my own for 8 years. And about a year and a half ago, I was at a vendor event, and they had this guy there, and he started telling his story. He's in the same business I'm in, started telling his story, and everything he said, I went through. Every problem he had, I had. Every error he made, I made. Every mistake he figured out, I made. So I figured that he was in business 10 years longer than I am at that time. I said, why am I going to keep trying to make these mistakes and figure out how to get out of them? Cost me money to get out of them, lose money to get into them. I said, well, I'm going to pay him a couple bucks, and he's now been my mentor, and he's turned my thought process around.
Tell us about that book you told me about, G. About that book. You want to share with our viewers?
Say that again?
You want to share that book that we were talking about the other day that you read?
Oh, The Pumpkin Plan.
The
Pumpkin Plan. Great business read. Basically, it's a story about a farmer who wants to grow the biggest and the best championship pumpkins. And in order to get to that biggest and best pumpkin, you got to get rid of the little pumpkins and the pumpkins that aren't doing well and the pumpkins that are causing you more grief. So it's been a great concept. I've had to let go of some of my early customers because the small customers cost me more time. They don't pay us as much money. Obviously, they were customers of mine for a long time, but we've had conversations about it. They understand.
Mm-hmm.
But in order for me to stay stable and continue growing, I had to get rid of those little pumpkins that are slowing me down from getting to that grand pumpkin.
It's just like real estate.
Great read.
Go ahead.
I said it was a great read.
Oh, I think it's just like, I don't know, in real estate, we're chasing, you can either chase little deals. When I started real estate, I would be happy to do little deals, but I'm like, now where I'm at, I'm like, I don't even have the time to chase for, it's like when I can focus on making 10, 20, 30, why are you focusing on the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6s,
Well, it is a natural progression. I think a lot of us have a comfort zone. We start out in a certain zone, and as you get more comfortable, more experienced, you work towards bigger deals. If you don't let go of those smaller deals, it's going to slow you down from getting the bigger deals. And that's the concept of that book.
Gotcha. So you hired this coach, and now it's kind of changed the way you do business now for the better, no doubt.
Yeah, it is. It's you know, I did a lot of fly by the seat of my pants business, and you know, in my world, I have to have protections, and my clients have to be protected. So we do agreements, and we do longer term processes, and it's just changed my thought process and how I'm growing my business.
Nice.
And it's tremendous value. I recommend everybody in any business they have a coach.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, why reinvent the wheel?
Mm-mm. I pay top dollar for people,
If you can pay somebody for their knowledge and experience and save yourself some trouble and some errors, and in your business, they can be big errors.
Mm-hmm.
They can be career-ending errors.
One mistake is minimum $5,000, dog. Minimum.
I mean, just the way you hold your property and legally. If you don't do that right, one problem, you're losing all your property to a lawsuit.
Yeah.
The average person doesn't know those things, and you have to find somebody who does and lean on them and pay them for their knowledge.
Yeah, that's right, brother.
You know, it's just like going to college. You know, kids go to college and pay for that because they're going to meet with somebody who knows something about a particular subject and to teach them.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing in business. If you don't pay for the seminar, you're going to live through it and pay for it in a different way.
You're going to pay either way.
You're going to pay either way. You can pay me now or you can pay me later.
All right, let me see if I got any questions in our chat box, G. Can you see the chat box there?
I can, but I don't see anything in it.
Okay, you might have to click show chat, maybe. It's on the right side. Or you might have to go to, do you see, I don't know why I shouldn't say nothing.
Do you have any chat messages?
Yeah, a whole bunch of them. I'm looking at them right here. You might have to refresh your screen on the chat, on the actual, not in Hangouts, but on the YouTube page. Class, if you're just joining us, put your questions here on the side. Williams, hey, family first. What up, Judy? My brother's here. Hey, Ronnie, D. Bullock, Edna, Carrie, Southern California, District of Columbia. Wow, gee, people all over the world, brother, all over the country. Jay, hey, St. Petersburg. Okay, G, this guy says here in Cincinnati, Ohio. Judy's in Virginia Beach. Thank you, Judy. Ohio. Terrell Fairley. I don't know where you at. Where you at, Terrell? He wants to know. He's a computer guy. How have you leveraged your knowledge of the computer industry and applied it to real estate? Well, he just went over that. Go ahead, G. You got that one?
So he wants to know how I'm using my computer knowledge connected to real estate.
Yeah.
So if I would answer that, I would probably have to answer it in a way that I used to do that stuff when I was actually searching for real estate property.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm an internet search guru. So I used to use a lot of those skills in finding properties or finding ways of finding properties.
Mm-hmm.
I probably don't do much today with my internet skills other than with my computer skills in real estate, other than my clients, my tenants that rent from us, we service them in the manner that part of my rental agreement with them is we help them with their IT services.
What?
So if they're in our building and they need to get connected to the internet, they need to set up their printers, we add that on as a bonus to their service and what they pay us for.
Add on.
So it's an add-on, yeah. So I don't bill them if they come downstairs and they say, hey, I can't print today. We go up and take care of them because they're part of our family here.
So that comes with the rent, G, is what you're saying.
Yep. Yes, it has. And I've got a couple clients that have come to me because of that. A couple tenants that have said, I've looked at 3 or 4 other places, but you guys add on that little bonus factor. So
wow.
that's helping in that manner.
That's genius, G. You're a beast, dude. So let me repeat this. If I rent from you, I get automatic computer service.
To a certain level, yes.
I mean, obviously, it's a certain, there's an extent of it.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
You're a beast, dog. You're a beast, man.
Well, it comes down to that caring and the service concept.
Wow.
You know,
All right, let's
I'm
see what
providing them a flat fee, and they're providing me a flat fee. We provide them internet service. I don't want to have them deal with getting connected, so we go and do the connection stuff for them.
Gotcha.
Because it's all built in, and I'm not seeing chat messages, so I'm not sure where I'm missing them at.
Let me do the G. I'm going to send you the video itself. Copy. I'm gonna go here. You can pull it up. Hold up, G. Let me send it to you. Hold on, class. Let me get G logged in.
I got a questions and answers button, but there's no questions and answers in it. In Hangouts, that is.
I'm gonna send you. I don't think it comes up on Hangouts. Hold on, class. I got a couple more questions. Let me get this here.
I think I know why, Chris, because I'm not on your YouTube page.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to send you the link.
It's Real Estate Roundup.
George R. What is it? George R.
3640.
There you go. George. Okay, I just sent you the link. You're gonna have to pause it when you click on it because it's gonna be like playing live.
Yeah. See, I don't really have feedback. Did you send it to me via email?
Yeah, I just did.
Oh. Hang on.
Okay, Paul J. What up, my brother? Oh man, we got NYC in the NYC and Montgomery. Janine D Mac. What's good? What's good? Royalty Renovations. Okay, Royalty Renovations wants to know BNI is like a Royalty Renovations. I guess he or she. I don't know where they at.
I'm in now.
Okay, there is like a BNI is like a group, like a real estate group, or is it a net? Is it a net?
No. It's a business. Any kind of business.
Okay.
So, quick example: 30 members in my group. I got a banker, loan officer. I've got a promotional products company, IT, web designer, payroll company, fitness studio, title company, financial planner.
Nice.
I've got a business coach.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a plumber, painter. So it's all different businesses in one group.
Gotcha. Well, this has been fun, G. The reason I wanted to talk to you was for several reasons, but for my viewers, I always think about, G, the person I'm serving, the person that's going to watch this, what value can I add to their life? And I know your background in real estate was crucial and you're a businessman, but as I'm aging, I'm like, real estate, it's just another business. I mean, it's no different from running a nail salon or doing computers. It still has to have business principles.
Correct. Yep.
So you have both of those you can bring to my family. I don't see any other. Let me see if I see any other questions. I think we're done, G.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you having me on. Love your
Last,
chat. Love you, brother, as you know.
yeah. What's your last thing you want to? What last thing, G, you could leave for my viewers, G, if you had to, for people that want to get in business or are running a business already? Give us a final thought.
Wow. I don't know if I can have enough time to answer that question. It's not for the faint of heart. If you think you're going to sit down and all of a sudden run a business and get retired in a minute's notice, think again. If you need a consistent paycheck when you're starting your business, think again. But if you love what you do, and if you have a true passion for it, go for it. Don't hesitate.
Go for it. I like that. I was just thinking the other day. I'm like, you know what? This shit ain't for everybody, G. This is not
No.
for everybody. As much as I work, G, I'm like, I don't know if a lot of people may not want to. They may not want to put in, like, years ago, G, I've been doing this. When I was in the music business, we were doing 15 to 17 hours a day working. It was no problem.
Right.
Tell me about, real quick before we leave, tell me about your your average work hour when you were starting and your average work days to today.
Well, when I started, I did everything. I was a one-man band. So my client base was smaller, but at that time I wore 17 hats, right? But they all had this like little brim on them, like a little derby. So I did 17 different departments with a lot of little things in it.
Okay.
Well, 10 years later, I'm still working. I don't have 17 hats anymore because I've delegated some of that, but I now have 7 sombreros. So
Gotcha.
the 7 things that I still do, I do way more of those things in that department: HR, payroll,
It's all around.
sales. So I used to do a little bit of each of them. Now I do now there's a lot of things that happen in those departments. I'm doing less departments, but the departments I'm doing them in, the departments I manage, I'm doing way more things in them. So I'm still busy. I still get on my computer on the weekends. I leave here at 6 o'clock at night. I come in on the weekends.
Wow.
I don't stop thinking about it. You're not as old as I am yet, Chris. I wake up in the middle of the night thinking about my clients. Thinking about what I got to get done, what's got to get done, what's needed, what's next. So if you don't think about your business like that, get out now.
Wow. Wow. That is pop. You know, gee, I wake up in the middle of the night. I'm trying not to curse. I'm thinking about my contractors. I'm waking up like, as you know, I'm like, what are these guys doing in my houses? Or you know,
So I have employees, you have subcontractors. It's the same process. I don't think much about my guys because they're great.
Now,
knocking on some wood there. But I wake up in the middle of the night thinking about, what's coming up, what's got to be done next. So my every waking moment is connected to my business.
So glad you said that, man. I went to see Ron LeGrand last month, and the guy walks in. He goes, "I live to work." And he's 72. He goes, "I wake up to work. I'm here to work. Every day I think about work. If I'm not working, I'm at home thinking about work." And he said this shit, G, with a straight face. And he's like, if you're not gonna do that, just leave. Don't do that. Don't be here.
I 100% agree with him.
Wow. Wow.
So you need the passion. You need to know it's going to be a nonstop process. I mean, I get my snippets of time here and there, but even when I'm on holiday, I'm thinking about work. I'm checking in. I'm ringing the phone. I'm reading email.
Tell me, G, I gotta let you go. Tell me about the person that says, "I want my own business so I can be my own boss." What is your thoughts? What would you say to that person?
The same concept. Make sure you're prepared for the full ride. I wanted it for a long time. I finally got it. There were a couple of times in my career that I said, gosh, am I really going to continue doing this?
Me too.
Because it's kind of easy if you could sit back and go make a paycheck and get done at the end of the day and get health care and get paycheck and then go on vacation and just leave everything behind. If that's what you're looking for, keep that job, keep that job.
Yeah.
Because I've been through. I had 5 paychecks one time in my. Real quick, before we do go. One of my mentors told me when I first started, he's like, "You got to pay yourself." I'm like, "I'm not paying myself. I don't have enough money." He's like, "Cut that check, put it in your drawer. Pay yourself." There was one time in my career I had 5 paychecks. Hey there.
That's my mother in town. She said hello.
Hello.
5 paychecks.
One time I had 5 paychecks in my desk drawer. I finally got to cash them all, but that's the kind of thing you may come across if you start your own business. It's not for the faint of heart, brother.
I'm gonna mention somebody's name, G. I want you to tell me what first comes to mind. Lonnie Scruggs, R.I.P.
Miss the hell out of him. Miss him tremendously. That man had a brain on him that, he knew everything about real estate and did a really good job at it. And he used to be a client of mine. I used to take care of his computer for him. And
really?
I still read his books. They have such basic core money-making processes in them that I still pick it up and read. I don't read the whole thing. I'll read chapters here and there. But don't let the mailman pass you by without putting a check in your mailbox. And We can go on for hours, Chris. That's my business. I'm in the monthly recurring service business.
Continuity.
Before I don't go find a project and then go find the next project. I get a customer, they pay us, we stay on as a customer every month. But don't let the mailman pass you without putting a check in your mailbox. I hit the mailbox today. I got 12 of them in the mailbox.
I love it. Mike Cheatwood.
Mike Cheatwood was the guy that made me fix his laptop on that Sunday afternoon.
Oh, that's who you're talking about?
Mike Cheatwood made me come over to his house in Virginia Beach and fix his laptop. Paid me $60, and that started Dan Computer Services. I
speak so much of these brothers, man. I don't know if they realize how much impact they had on people, G.
He was great, man. I love him.
He was a giant. I mean, just a giant, dude. I'm like, his whole demeanor.
So I'm getting a tear in my eye now. I gotta go.
All right, man. I just wanted everybody here, my viewers, hear me talk about these people. All they're almost like figments because they're no longer with us. But
giants among men, both of them, man. Giants among men.
So I just want people to know they were real, and
they were real
too. Okay.
Sad that they're not here anymore, but they were real.
All right. Okay, G. Love you, my brother.
Love you. Have a great day.
Forgot about this. Make sure, class, subscribe, hit the like, smash it for optimization purposes, class. Help a brother out. Help me get my mission to raise your financial literacy with people like G and a whole bunch of other guys we're going to bring on our channel. G, hold tight. I'm going to cut everybody off and I'm going to say goodbye to you. Class, see you on Wednesday with my brother Eddie. Peace.